When opening Unity, you want to start with Unity Hub. There's a couple features you'll want to know about this. You have the Learn area if you want to look for tutorials, the installs, which tell you which versions of Unity you have installed, and if it gives you anything like a license error, that's actually in the settings. You can go to License Management and check here. If it's not showing a license, you will have to activate new license. You do have to be logged in, and you can use our school login email address, or you can start your own. Once you're in Unity, you can go back to the area, go to New, and we're going to start with a 3D. And save it to your D drive. If you look at old tutorials, they'll tell you to go to the Unity Asset Store through the tab. You actually want to look on this now. If you do a web search, you get to the Unity Asset Store. So any of the assets we go over in this program, you can get here. So one we'll be downloading later is the Fantasy Forest environment. If you're using the school account, you already have this. And if you're using your own account, you will want to download it. When you click on it, you'll see Add to My Assets. And then from there, you should be able to open it in the Package Manager. Just to review, we have a camera. When we click on this, we get the skybox, the color. We get the clipping planes, that's how far the camera can see. Sometimes you'll have a clipping right at the very beginning, so if your character does have a face, you're not sitting there seeing the nose or something in front of everything. And the far is how far you can see. The further it goes, the more has to render, so the more processing time it takes. You can also click Physical Camera and actually change some of the settings. The perspective is going to show it to you like you have depth of field. Orthographic is going to be flat. You might think you'd use that for 2D, but this is made more for things like top-down maps. The field of view is how much of the area the camera sees. That corresponds to like the millimeters we saw on a camera lens. And then the sun, it has an intensity, it has a mode. But the big thing is if you use the rotation tools, you can change the time of day. To start your terrain, you want to go and first go to Project Settings and make sure you're selected on Package Manager. From there, you want to enable Preview Packages, which means you're going to download packages that are still in development. But the Terrain Tools is still in development, so we need to click this to have the option to get Terrain Tools. From here, we go to Window, Package Manager, and these will show all the packages we have in project. To get the other packages, we go to Unity Registry in this dropdown. From here, there's two you want to get. The Pro Builder we talked about in another lesson, but make sure that you've installed Pro Builder. And the other is the Terrain Tools. The other area you can go is to go to My Assets. Now, if you're using the school account, this will have everything any student who used the school account downloaded. So it's an incredibly long list. But as you saw, we talked about wanting a Fantasy Forest. And that's right here in this list, Fantasy Forest. If you're using your own account, remember what you would do is go to the Unity Asset Store. You can find that on the web. Search Fantasy Forest Environment, and then add to your assets, making sure that you've logged in so it will get saved to the proper place. The login for the Unity Asset Store and Unity have to match for it to show up in this list. From here, you would do actually two steps. You're going to import, and then import everything. You may have to click Download before if it doesn't think it's in your list. But once you've done that, you now have Fantasy Forest assets in your project as well. We'll be using those a little later.